Have you ever felt the cold draft of a door slamming in your face? Not a literal door, but a door of opportunity, a door of relationship, a door of destiny. You stood there, hand outstretched, ready to walk into a new season, ready to embrace a promise you felt deep in your spirit, only to watch it shut tight. And perhaps it wasn't just the wind that closed it. You heard the lock turn. You heard the whispers on the other side. You realized with a sinking feeling in your gut that there were people, forces, influences, gatekeepers, who actively decided that you did not belong in that room. They tried to close it. They tried to lock you out of your own future. It is a painful place to be. It brings up questions that keep you awake at 3 until a.m. Did I mishear God? Am I not good enough? Why does it seem like everyone else is walking through open gates while I am standing here in the hallway, holding a bag full of dreams with nowhere to go? If you are listening to this right now, I need you to take a deep breath and let your spirit settle, because this message is not an accident. You were drawn here because the atmosphere of your life is shifting. You have been in a season of restriction, a season where it felt like for every step forward, you were pushed 2 steps back. But the Spirit of the Lord is saying something very specific to you today. The era of the closed door is ending. The time of human blockage is expiring. We are going to talk about a profound spiritual reality. The door that God opens, no man can shut. And conversely, the door that God shuts, no man can open. But specifically, we are addressing the doors that the doubters, the enemies, the jealous, the gatekeepers tried to close. You see, there is a difference between a door that is closed because it is not your time and a door that is closed because of opposition. You are a chosen one. And one of the hallmarks of the chosen is resistance. If you were ordinary, if your destiny was small, if your future was fragile, nobody would bother trying to block you. You don't put a high-security lock on an empty shed. You put it on a vault. The very fact that you have faced such intense opposition, such orchestrated rejection, is the greatest evidence of the value of what you carry inside. But here is the truth that changes everything. When people try to close a door on a chosen one, they often do not realize who holds the master key. Think about the story of your life up to this point. How many times have you been rejected? How many times were you overlooked for the promotion, left out of the gathering, misunderstood by your family, or betrayed by those you trusted? It felt like rejection. It felt like they were writing the end on your story. But in the economy of heaven, rejection is often nothing more than redirection. What if I told you that the door they slammed in your face was actually an act of divine protection? What if the room they locked you out of was a room filled with traps that would have destroyed your destiny? Sometimes God allows the enemy to shut a door because God knows that if you walk through it, you would settle for less than what He has prepared. You have been mourning the closed door. You have been banging on it, trying to pry it open with your own strength, trying to convince the people on the other side that you are worthy of entry. But God is saying, stop knocking on that door. I have not called you to beg for entry into a room where you are merely tolerated. I am preparing a door where you will be celebrated. And this brings us to a deeper understanding of how God operates with His chosen ones. There is a principle in Scripture, often referred to as the key of David. It speaks of the one who opens and no one can shut. This is an absolute authority. It means that when the timing of heaven aligns with your preparation on earth, the opinions of people become irrelevant. You may be in a situation right now where your future seems to be in the hands of a person. Maybe a boss, a judge, a bank manager, or a spouse who has walked away. It looks like they hold the keys. It looks like they have the final say. That is a terrifying illusion. The enemy loves to make you believe that your destiny is at the mercy of human decisions. But for the chosen one, human agency is always secondary to divine sovereignty. God often waits until the situation looks impossible before He moves. He waits until they have added the extra padlock. He waits until they have posted the guards. He waits until the stone is rolled in front of the tomb and sealed by the empire. Why? Because when the door finally opens, He wants there to be no doubt that it was His hand that moved it. Consider Joseph. We often talk about his coat of many colors, but we must look at the doors that were closed on him. His brothers threw him in a pit, door closed. He was sold into slavery, door closed. He was falsely accused by Potiphar's wife and thrown into a dungeon, door closed. For years, Joseph lived behind heavy, ironclad doors of restriction. He had done nothing wrong. In fact, he had done everything right. He was integral. He was gifted. He was faithful. And yet the doors kept slamming shut. If you looked at Joseph's life in the middle of the story, you would say, "This man is cursed. This man is finished. They have succeeded in closing his destiny." But God was using those closed doors to funnel Joseph toward a specific location. If his brothers hadn't closed the door on his life in Canaan, he never would have reached Egypt. If Potiphar hadn't closed the door on his service in the house, he never would have reached the prison. And if the prison doors hadn't held him for the appointed time, he never would have been available to interpret the dream for Pharaoh. Every door that they closed was actually a wall of the canal that was directing the flow of his life toward the palace. And this is where the shift happens in your spirit. You need to stop resenting the people who closed the doors. You need to stop replaying the betrayal. You need to forgive the gatekeepers, not because what they did was right, but because they were unwitting instruments in the hand of your God. They thought they were burying you, but they were actually planting you. They thought they were locking you out, but they were actually locking you into a season of hidden preparation. But there is something even more powerful happening right now. The season of hiddenness is coming to an end. The pressure you feel, that intense squeezing, that feeling that you're about to burst, is not the sign of death, it is the sign of birth. God is about to bypass the gatekeepers. This is one of the most exciting things about being a chosen one. When the time comes for your elevation, God does not consult your enemies. He prepares a table before you, in the presence of your enemies. Notice the preposition there, in the presence. He doesn't remove them. He doesn't wait for them to like you. He doesn't wait for them to apologize. He sets the table of blessing, influence, and abundance right in front of them. The door opens while they are watching. This is the vindication of the chosen. You don't have to fight for your reputation. You don't have to launch a PR campaign to clear your name. You just have to walk through the door that God is opening. However, there is a condition. You cannot walk through a new open door while dragging the baggage from the old closed door. Many of us are standing on the threshold of a breakthrough, but we are weighed down by bitterness. We are looking back at the door that hurt us. We are staring at the lock, wondering why. And as long as your focus is on the door that closed, you will be blind to the door that is opening. Imagine a hallway. It's long and dim. Behind you is the door of your past, the rejection, the failure, the pain. Ahead of you is a door that is slightly ajar, with brilliant light spilling out from the cracks. But you are standing in the middle, facing backward. You are shouting at the old door. You are weeping over the old door. Meanwhile, the new door is waiting. God is saying to you today, turn around. The they in your life, those who tried to close your path, have no power over what comes next unless you give it to them through your focus. When you obsess over their opinions, you hand them the keys to your emotions. When you replay their words, you let them build a prison in your mind. You must realize that the door God is opening is not just a replacement for what you lost. It is an upgrade. The glory of the latter house shall be greater than the former. This is a spiritual law. When the enemy attacks a chosen one and God brings them through it, they do not come out the same. They come out with a double portion. Think of Job. He lost everything. The doors of his life slammed shut one by one. Health, wealth, family, gone. His friends, the they in his life, sat around him and told him it was his fault. They tried to close the door on his righteousness. But when God restored Job, he didn't just give him back what he had, he gave him double. Why double? Because the trouble you went through carved out a greater capacity in your soul. The sorrow dug the well deeper, so now it can hold more water. The rejection made your skin thicker, so now you can handle the weight of a heavier mantle. You are not damaged goods. You are an expanded vessel. Now let's talk about the signs that a door is opening. Because often right before the door swings wide, things get chaotic. Have you been experiencing a sudden increase in spiritual warfare? Have old habits tried to resurface? Have people started acting strangely around you, dropping out of your life for no reason? Do you feel a restlessness in your spirit? A dissatisfaction with where you are, even if things are technically okay? These are not signs that things are going wrong. These are signs of displacement. When you're about to move through a portal of destiny, The enemy tries to create a storm of distraction. He wants you to focus on the chaos so you miss the opportunity. He wants you to be so exhausted by the battle that you don't have the strength to step over the threshold. But you must stand firm. The chaos is actually the sound of the hinges turning. The rust is breaking off. The heavy machinery of heaven is moving on your behalf. There is a specific type of door that God is opening for many who are listening to this. It is a door of influence. For a long time, you have been the hidden one. You have been the one serving in the background, giving your ideas to others, supporting others' visions. While your own visions seem to stagnate, you have felt like a voice crying in the wilderness. They tried to silence you. They tried to minimize your contribution. They took credit for your work. They labeled you as too intense, too spiritual, or too much. But God says, I hid you so I could develop you. You cannot be exposed to the public until you are anchored in the private. The rejection you faced was keeping you from being destroyed by premature exposure. If the door had opened 5 years ago, your character might not have been able to sustain the weight of the blessing. You might have become arrogant. You might have relied on your talent rather than His Spirit. But now you have been broken, and I mean that in the most beautiful way. You have been broken of your pride. You have been broken of your need for human validation. You have learned to weep before God. You have learned that your strength comes from Him alone. Now you are safe to be promoted. The door that is opening is a door where your voice will be heard. It is a door where your unique gifting, the very thing you were mocked for, will be the solution to someone else's problem. This is the irony of God's kingdom. The stone the builders rejected becomes the chief cornerstone. The very attribute that made you weird to the world is what makes you necessary to the kingdom. So, how do you walk through this door? First, you must walk with humility. Do not enter this new season with an I told you so attitude. Do not look at those who rejected you with scorn. If you do, you are bringing the poison of the past into the purity of the future. Walk with your head high but your heart bowed. Second, you must walk with courage. The new door will lead to new giants. New levels bring new devils. Just because God opened the door doesn't mean there won't be adversaries in the room. But the difference is, now you have the authority to handle them. You are not the same person who was locked out. You are a veteran of the wilderness. You know how to fight. You know how to pray. You know how to stand. Third, you must be willing to leave the familiar. This is the hardest part. Sometimes we stay outside the closed door because, even though it hurts, it's familiar. We know the pain of rejection. We have built an identity around being the victim, around being the outcast. Walking through the open door means you have to release that identity. You are no longer the rejected one. You are the accepted one. You are no longer the failure. You are the victor. You have to change the way you speak about yourself. You have to stop agreeing with the labels they put on you. If God opens a door of abundance, you cannot keep speaking the language of poverty. If God opens a door of healing, you cannot keep rehearsing the story of your sickness. You have to align your conversation with your destination. Let's go deeper into the nature of the they. Who are they? Sometimes they are structural systems, economic barriers, social hierarchies, things that say people like you don't get to go places like this. But I want to remind you of who your Father is. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He turns the hearts of kings like water in His hands. Protocols are suspended for the chosen. Rules are bent for the favored. You might be looking at your bank account, your education, or your social connections and saying, I don't have the credentials to walk through that door. God says, I am your credential. When the favor of God is on your life, it acts as a master pass. It gets you into rooms your degree didn't earn. It gets you audiences with people who are technically out of your league. It causes resources to find you. There is a story of a woman in Scripture who had a little oil. The creditors, the they, were coming to take her sons as slaves. The door of her future was closing, but the prophet told her to borrow vessels, to go inside, shut the door behind her, and pour. Notice that phrase, shut the door. Sometimes for God to open a great door for you, you have to shut the door on the noise of the world. You have to go into the secret place. You have to disconnect from the opinions of the crowd. God is opening a door, but He is calling you to intimacy first. He wants to give you the strategy in secret so you can execute it in public. What is it that you have stopped dreaming about because they said it was impossible? Is it a business, a ministry, a marriage, a restoration of a relationship? I want you to pick that dream up off the floor right now. Dust it off. It might look dead. It might smell like the grave. But we serve a God of resurrection. The door they tried to close was the door to the tomb. They rolled a stone over Jesus. They set a guard. They thought, this is it. We have closed the door on this movement. But on the third day the earth shook. The stone was rolled away. Not so Jesus could get out, he could have walked through the wall, but so that we could look in and see that he is not there. The opening of the door is a testimony. Your life is about to become a testimony that confuses your enemies. They will look at you and say, how? How did they survive that? How did they get that funding? How did they heal from that trauma? We buried them. And you will look back and say, you tried to close the door, but God. Those two words, but God, are the hinge upon which your destiny swings. As we move toward the latter part of this message, I want to address the fear that comes with open doors. We often pray for open doors, but when they open, we freeze. We feel imposter syndrome. We feel like a fraud. Who am I to be here? This is the enemy's last-ditch effort. If he can't keep the door closed, he will try to make you too afraid to walk through it. He will whisper, you're going to mess this up. You're going to lose it just like you lost the last thing. It's too good to be true. You must rebuke that voice immediately. It is a lie from the pit. You are not an imposter. You are a child of the King. You have been prepared for this. The trials you survived were your training ground. You are not entering this door by luck. You are entering by assignment. Walk in with the confidence of the chosen. Not arrogance, confidence. Arrogance is thinking you did it yourself. Confidence is knowing who sent you. And realize this, the door is not just for you. This is the secret of the chosen one. The blessing is never just for the individual. God is opening this door because there are people on the other side who need what you carry. If Joseph hadn't walked through his doors, Egypt and Israel would have starved. If Esther hadn't walked through the door of the king's court, her people would have been annihilated. There are people attached to your obedience. There are generations attached to your breakthrough. If you back down now because of fear or because of what they said, you are not just hurting yourself. You are denying deliverance to those you are called to serve. So the stakes are high. But the support is higher. The hosts of heaven are backing you. You may feel alone, but those who are with you are more than those who are against you. I want you to visualize the door right now. Maybe it's a specific opportunity you know of. Maybe it's just a vague sense of more. See the heavy chains that they put on it falling off. Hear the sound of the metal hitting the floor. See the hand of God, glowing with light, reaching down and turning the handle. The door swings open. What do you see? Do not see problems. See territory, see promise. And as you step forward, I want you to make a declaration. Say this in your spirit, or say it out loud if you can. I am a chosen one. My steps are ordered by the Lord. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. The door that God opens, no man can shut. I release the pain of the past. I forgive the gatekeepers who rejected me. I step out of the hallway of waiting and into the room of destiny. I am ready. I am equipped. I am anointed for this moment. Let that sink in. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor over them. The narrative that they wrote for you, the tragedy, the failure, the obscurity, is being rewritten by the author of life. He is scratching out their lines and writing triumph. He is writing joy. He is writing legacy. Do not look back at the burning bridges. Let them burn. They light the way forward. Do not try to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Just walk through the door. The fruit of your life will be the explanation. God is restoring the years the locusts have eaten. The years you spent behind the closed door were not wasted years. They were investment years. You are about to see the return on that investment. So straighten your back. Lift up your head, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. He is coming into your situation. He is coming into your finances. He is coming into your family. The silence is breaking. The stagnation is breaking. You are moving from the back of the line to the front. Not because you pushed your way there, but because the order has been reversed by heaven. Be expectant. Wake up tomorrow morning with the expectation of good. Look for the open door. It might come in an email. It might come in a phone call. It might come in a chance meeting. It might come as an idea that flashes into your mind. When it comes, do not hesitate. Do not ask for permission from them. You already have permission from him. This is your time. This is your turn. The lock is broken. The door is open. Walk through. And as you go, remember that you are loved with an everlasting love. You are held by a mighty hand, and the best days of your life are not behind you. They are waiting for you, just across the threshold. Believe it. Receive it. Walk in it. The door is open.